Welcome to your Journey to Joy podcast. I'm your host, Moyra Gorski, and I'm on a mission to help you find joy in the chaos of life. As a retired nurse, multi-passionate entrepreneur, and mom of 4 adult children, I know what it's like to feel the overwhelm of it all and wonder if and when the joy will show up again. And I've learned it's up to us to go find that joy. On this show, you will hear inspiring stories from those who have overcome all kinds of life challenges, tips on how to stay healthy and vibrant during the ups and downs of life, and simple ways on finding joy in your own life. Let's face it, life is messy, yet when we travel together on this journey, support and encourage each other along the way, that joy starts to show up again. I'm so excited to lead you on this journey of you to find the joyful life that you deserve. Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I am your host, Moyra Gorski, and I am here by myself today. It's been a little while since I've taken the microphone by myself. Life's been a little busy. But I did want to come on and talk about longevity. I've been thinking a lot about this because I'm watching my father, who is he'll be 92 this month. I'm watching him live, but in a very sad way, I'm also watching him die. This year has not been particularly kind to him this last year. Starting actually around the holidays last year, he was in the hospital and he had surgery to repair a hiatal hernia. And then this year we have discovered that he has bladder cancer as well as prostate cancer. And I've seen him decline in his mobility. I've seen him decline in his energy, his motivation. He's still really sharp in the head, if you will. But I've seen him, really start to decline. And from what I'm seeing with the scans and things like that, his days are, as we all are, but I think his days are more numbered than not. And so I've been thinking about longevity, and I've been spending time with my dad and taking him to his doctor's appointments and things like that. But I also had an opportunity in June to attend a summit for Shackley, the company that I work with. And we had an incredible guest there, Dr. Peter Attia, who is a world-renowned expert on longevity. And he's just an incredibly brilliant doctor. And he spoke, and he has written a book called Outlive, the Science and Art of Longevity. And I've read it, I've listened to it, I listened to him. And so I want to talk today kind of about my views of longevity and some things for us to think about if we're thinking about living. He talks about outliving, but, I want to talk about, how we're choosing to live and really this difference between conventional medicine and, what I choose to practice and to promote is just that lifestyle medicine, if you will, and how we're choosing to live and the choices that we make every day. And just give you some suggestions and things to think about. And would love to hear from you as you listen to this and what your thoughts are and if I can provide any assistance in regards to helping you live better, live a more vibrant life. That's what I'm here for. So please reach out. You can find my connection in the show notes and you can find me on social. So I would love to hear from you. But when we think about, as Dr. Attia says in this book, when you're a physician, you're looking at stopping a patient from dying. A lot of times when, they're intervening at the wrong time. So you go to see a doctor and they discover you have heart disease. Or you go to see a doctor like me and they discover you have cancer. So they want to do things so they can prevent you from dying. And prevent you from dying, stop the patient from dying so quickly, from letting that disease state, if you will, the heart disease, the cancer, the diabetes, prevent that disease state from taking their life. And so they're doing things, again, to, the disease, when you go to see the doctor, the disease has progressed, right? The disease has developed and progressed, and they're there as a manager of that, right? To put a Band-Aid on, if you will, or to keep it from progressing or manage the pain or manage the, progression of the disease so that you're comfortable and things like that. And, that's the way medicine is. It's the way it's been for a very, very long time. But it's not the same way of looking at like helping, stopping a patient from dying is a big difference. There's a big difference between that and helping somebody live, right? We often talk about, with Shackley in our business, we talk about health span versus lifespan. So, we have a certain lifespan, the years that we're going to live, right? And what we love to do with Shackley and with our lifestyle medicine and helping bring true wellness to the world is, as our health span, is to help people have a very small gap between their health span and their lifespan. What do I mean by that? So health span is the amount of time that you're healthy, right? And many people, they live to a certain time. They're healthy to the point, and then they're not. And sometimes that not period of time between when they discover that they're not healthy and when they die is a long time. It can be a long time, and it can be an uncomfortable time. I'm seeing that with my father. It's an uncomfortable time of going to see the doctors and going to different specialists and having surgeries or having procedures and helping. So in my dad's case, things don't progress. They took tumors out. Now they're giving him medications to decrease things so that the cancer doesn't spread, although the PET scan showed that the cancer has spread. So they're trying to manage his diseases and, again, stop him from dying so quickly. But this isn't a healthy span of his life. And so it's heartbreaking to watch that. And I'm up for it because I'm the medical power of attorney. I'm the former nurse, and, he's unsteady on his feet and he spends a lot of time in his wheelchair. And so, I'm using my rehab skills of, transferring and helping transfer him from the wheelchair to the car and things like that. But, again, back to health span versus lifespan, when we can live a healthier life, my hope is that I live to a certain time and then, God takes me pretty quickly, and that I don't have years of suffering and suffering and suffering. And that's what we have the ability to do. When I talk about some things that we can do on a daily basis, we have that ability to close that gap there or prevent that gap from being too big, right? Between our health span and our lifespan. Again, we have this lifespan, and what if we could do things on the daily basis now that could keep that health span and that lifespan pretty close, right? To the point that, okay, well, I guess I'm done, and then you pass on to the next life. So that's, again, conventional medicine and the way things are. But what I subscribe to and what I really promote these days with others is just this idea of what are our daily habits that we can do today to help us live vibrantly today, but also help our health span be a good one. There was a time in my life where I was working out and running and going to the gym and taking classes and things like that because I wanted to be thin. I wanted to be in shape. I wanted to look good. And albeit I like to look good and I like to fit into my clothes but these days I'm working out and I get myself to the gym and I go to my yoga classes because I want to be strong. I want to be strong for today, but I want to be strong for tomorrow. I want my longevity to be good and strong. When I look at my father, who I love dearly, he doesn't have a lot of strength. And when we talk to him about, going to the little, whatever it's called there, the little health center where you can ride a bike or, people play pickleball. He's not able to play pickleball, but to go there and maybe lift some weights or ride the bike or, do some type of exercise or chair yoga or chair something or other. He's just not interested. It hasn't been a habit of his for a very long time in his life. So it's hard, they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. There's no doubt about that when I look at my father. It's just not, he said, it's about motivation. And he's really not motivated because it's hard to, Matt, think about it when you take a vacation, when you perhaps go traveling and you don't do any working out. Maybe you're just walking, but you're not going to the gym or you're not going to your classes. And then you get back to the health club. It's sometimes hard to get it started again, right? But it's within a couple of days, you're back into the rhythm and all that. But if you haven't been doing these things for a very long time, man, it's hard to get it grinding at all. So that's what I talk about is what are the habits that you can do today to get them established so that they're easier to stick with, right? And so, so I want to just talk about just a few of those things that I talk about all the time and that can really have a big impact on the way that you live today. And, those habits are moving every day. Again, it can be whatever you choose to do, but these days it's about, just getting out and walking. Can you walk for 30 minutes a day? Can you, ride your bike with your kids? Can you do a yoga class? But it's just getting out there and moving. These days I've been I'm going to hop on the rebounder after I record this because I've been sitting a lot and been on phone calls and things like that. So getting up and even just, I did a reel and I can't remember the statistics, but even just 10 minutes a day, in little spurts, if you get up on the rebounder for 3 to 5 minutes and jump on the little mini trampoline and get things moving, that's good. It's really good for your heart. It's good for your health. So we want to make sure that we're getting movement into our day, whatever it is that you choose to do. Some people like to take the classes. They like to bike. Some people just I just say, get outside and walk. If you have a dog, walk your dog. If you have a friend down the street, ask your friend to meet you so that you can go and take a walk and get moving. The other thing is drinking water. I drink a lot in the morning. So I go work out, I fill up my water bottle, I come home and I have tea, and then I have some other tea. I've got some tea here in my coffee cup, if you will, or my mug. But then in the afternoon, I sometimes tend to, not drink as much. But we have to drink water. It's a way of hydrating ourselves, but hydration is so important for our skin, for our health. It's a way of detoxing. The more water that we have, the more we flush things out of us, right? When we urinate, when we defecate and things like that, we've got to put the water in to help things continue to flow. I find with my father, he doesn't drink a lot of water. He tends to have quite a bit of swelling of his legs. And it's because he's not moving so much. He's not circulating that stuff throughout his body, and he's not drinking a lot of water. And, even when my mom was alive, we bought 2 matching water bottles for them that had little marks on there. And I like to tell people out these 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 o'clock, whatever, these little markings on the water bottle. So it's okay, make sure you drink, you fill it all up and then drink to this part by 10 a.m., drink to this part by noon, drink to this part by 2. And they're great ideas, but you know what? They didn't use them. And so they told us to take them back. So again, making sure that you're drinking plenty of water, making sure that you're getting outside and getting the sunshine. It's really important at the beginning of the day, just to help with your circadian rhythm. Get up and go outside. Go outside when you first get up. We have a dog, so I'm letting the dog out in the morning, and I'll go outside and I just stand and kind of check the temperature, and then I go fill out my bird feeder. And so I'm outside for a few minutes and, standing in the sun or just standing outside and taking some deep breaths in and out just of that beautiful fresh air. So we've got to make sure that we're getting out. There is so much power in nature. That's why I love taking walks, taking a walk and going to the park or going to a forest preserve and getting outside in nature there's power there. And then let's talk about protein and vitamins. Our cells are made up of vitamins, minerals, and protein. So in order for us to have strong cells, strong bodies, strong health, we need to get a good foundation in strong cells, right? And so that means vitamins, minerals, and protein. So there are many, and as we age, we have more difficult time digesting protein. So it's important to really make sure we're getting it and that we're getting easily digestible forms of protein. But I really, when I counsel my clients, I talk about let's just build a good foundation. So let's talk about some good vitamins, minerals, and protein to fill in the gaps where our diets fall short. And then I have some people say, have you ever said, hey, well, I get all the nutrients that I need from my food. That's great. But the chances are you're not. We live in a busy world. We live in a hectic world. And we live in a processed food, quick food type of world. So as much as we try to get what we need from our food, it's really not happening. People are picking up food. They're picking up processed foods, even if, they're picking up some packaged food or something that's frozen and that they can throw in a skillet and heat it up. I mean, it's just not the most natural, healthy food that we can eat. It's better than some, right? But, the nutrient value of our food is significantly less than it was years ago. Our soil is depleted of the nutrients, and so our food is depleted of nutrients. So it's really important to have those vital vitamins, minerals, and protein to fill in the gaps. And like I said, make our cells strong so that we are, healthy. And then the last thing I'll say, I mean, there's just so much more I can share, but paying attention to who you surround yourself with. Who are you surrounding yourself with? With your phone calls, with your community, with your, do you have a church group? Do you have a women's club? Do you have a men's club or things like that? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because I found in my cancer journey and my cancer discovery and reading books and things like that, I love this book called Radical Remission. And it talks about, Kelly Turner. She interviewed so many people that had some type of radical remission from cancer. And she looked at she came up with 10 commonalities that they had with all these people that had some radical remission from cancer. And some had done conventional therapy, and then they're like, okay, no, that's not working, so I'm going to do these things. And so it was, yes, what they were eating, their diet. It was supplementation. It was removing the toxins from their home. And man, that's something we could have a whole discussion about. And is that, removing the toxins from our cleaners, from our skincare products, from our personal care products and things like that. But, and so the remission. So those were like 3 of the commonalities, but the rest of them were mindset things. And one of them was, who do you surround yourself with? Do more things that bring you joy. Get rid of those toxic relationships. Deepening your spiritual practice. That's just all again, what are you choosing to do? What are the choices of things that you want to be involved with or doing every day? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they uplifting to you? Are they supportive of you or not? So making sure that you surround yourself with people that are uplifting and that bring you joy. And if not, then consider, changing some of those things. So, I cannot stress enough that there are the ways that we continue to live better and to live well is to create these healthy habits. And so these are a few of things that I definitely recommend. And I hope that you can hear that and start to institute some of these or strengthen them up if you're doing some that need a little refresher. It's the movement, it's the drinking the water, the protein, the vitamins. Who do you surround yourself with? I want to help you live longer and live better. And that's what longevity is about. That's what lifestyle medicine about. And, you're not going to find a lot of it talked about and things like that, especially from the physicians, because they're not trained to, talk about nutrition. They're just not trained. And so they're not going to talk about something that they really aren't familiar with. But it's those, it's these healthy habits, these daily habits that when we institute them now, whatever your age is, then you have the chance to live better and to be in that longevity phase of your life, that beautiful health span of your life, as opposed to, a sick time that you're not living well. I hope this is helpful. I want to kind of wrap it up by reading something from this Outlive book that Dr. Attia wrote. Now it's a thick one, and it's, I recommend that if you, it's great to pick it up so that you can take some notes in it, but it's also great to listen to because it's a lot. And I do recommend that if and when you pick up this book from Dr. Attia, is that you read the last chapter. I mean, he had his own issues. He had his own addictions. He had to go into some therapy and treatment for that. And he was really vulnerable on those last pages of this book. So I really encourage you to read that. It gives you a different perspective on why he's so passionate about what he does and how he educates. And, when we look at longevity and what I like to do every day and what he certainly does and promotes is that I don't want to just sit and tell you what to do. Like, here, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Nobody wants to be should on, right? And when people are telling you what to do, it's just not, sometimes it just feels like kind of icky, like, oh, she's telling me what to do. I don't really want to do it. But what I want to do is encourage you to think. Like, think about those choices that you're making. Think about what you're doing. Think about these habits. I want to encourage you to think. Because then when you think about it, then you can make those, better choices. But I want to finish it up by just reading this paragraph that's in the book that I think is really good, that talks about about longevity and really the paradigm shift that it really demands. So he talks about, more broadly, longevity demands a paradigm shifting approach to medicine, one that directs our efforts towards preventing chronic disease and improving our health span, and doing it now rather than waiting until disease has taken hold or until our cognitive and physical function has already declined. It's not preventative medicine, it's proactive medicine. But I believe it has the potential not only to change the lives of individuals, but also to relieve vast amounts of suffering in our society as a whole. This change is not coming from the medical establishment either. It happens only if and when patients and physicians demand it. Only by altering our approach to medicine itself can we get to the rooftop and stop the egg from falling. None of us should be satisfied racing around at the bottom to try to catch them. It's really, really good. And I love this. I talk about prevention a lot, but I love this. We're being proactive. We're being proactive today so that we can change. We have the ability to change the trajectory of our lives. So for today, but also, for tomorrow. And so as I wrap it up and I think about my father and I think about picking him up tomorrow and taking him to the medical oncologist who's going to tell us the extent of his cancer, it's sad when I think about that. And my dad's lived a wonderful life for 92 years, almost 92 years. And I know that we talked a little bit this summer that he said he goes, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with my health. I'm frustrated with, basically he was frustrated with the decline. I said, Dad, you've been healthy for a good part of your life. And so all of a sudden you're not. And we can't really make up that lost time. We can't really okay, let's do this and you're going to get a whole lot better and you're going to live a whole lot longer. It's really not possible. And so it's sad. And I'm going to spend the time that I can with and help him and all that. But it just has really brought me to this point of thinking more and more about continuing to talk about longevity and about proactive. Let's be proactive. Can we make that commitment to being proactive? Be proactive in your life, in the choices that you make, because you do have the ability to live, live longer, to live better. But it takes being proactive each and every day. If you need some help with that, I'm here to say that we've got some groups starting in the new year of, I'm not sure what we're calling them, if it's the Jumpstart in January, but just, let's get together. We're just, forming groups and getting together, keeping ourselves accountable, helping us create some healthier habits so that we can live. And so if you're interested in those groups, interested in working with me or learning more about how you can live a better life and how your longevity of your life can be better, please reach out to me. Again, you can find me on Instagram, Moyra Gorski, Wellness Advocate. You can just look in the show notes and you'll be able to find a way to connect with me. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here not to just tell you what to do, but like I said, encourage you to think. Think about how you want to live. How do you want to live today? How do you want to live in the future? Because the decisions you make today impact you today, but they also impact you in the future. So go and make it a great day. Fill your day with joy. Be happy. Make some happy choices. And know that I'm here cheering you on each and every day. We'll talk to you next time. Hey there. Ready to live a more joyful life? Considering connecting with someone who can help you? If so, I'd like to be that person. I offer a free consultation where we determine where the chaos is in your life and how you can learn to bring more joy each and every day. Visit my website, moyragorski.com, or simply email me, moyra@moyragorski.com, with more joy in the subject line. I look forward to connecting, and I'm here to say there will always be some chaos, which requires a little juggling, but you can find joy and live your life intentionally filled with that joy. Let me help you on your journey to joy, and that's joy, the journey of you.